against Dustin. You wanted to fight on this date, and Dustin was the man up. I'm curious, did you know at some point you would have to fight Dustin, considering he's always in the top 5 at lightweight?
Yeah, I always thinking about him because I don't know, all his life in the top, on the top 5, and it's my dream fight someone like Dustin who have big name in this sports. And I'm very happy because he is gonna be in my list.
Does it also feel good to finally get a lightweight it's not a rematch, you had the 2 fights against Volkanovski, and now you get to fight another lightweight that's also fought for the belt already?
Yeah, I don't like the rematch because you don't have new motivation. Always you need to find some new target, new goal. But when you have rematch, it's same, same opponent, did some like sparring partners the same, which one you choose, That's why I always want some new name.
Been here before, right? Right on the cusp of a title shot. But I wonder if this one, everyone's saying this is the last chance, and you said that yourself, if this one feels bigger than the others.
It doesn't feel bigger. Honestly, I feel more comfortable in this position than I ever have. I know it's big because where I'm at in my career, and like I've said over and over again, I'm probably not going to get another shot to climb the ladder. I'm 35. How many shots can you give somebody? How many times can I climb that mountain? But I'm trying not to focus on that part of it and just take it as another fight so I don't add any pressure.
Yeah. Everyone, I'm sure, would love to go through their career undefeated, right? But can you maybe take something more out of the fact that, hey, if I win this title, it's because I persevered. I got knocked down, I came back. I got knocked down, I came back. Is there something more cool about that, hey, I may not have gone through my career undefeated, but every time I got beat, I came back and eventually I got it done?
I think it says, to go undefeated is incredibly hard to do and crazy impressive. But to keep picking yourself back up after getting knocked down, showing that never say die attitude, pulling things together, learning from your past mistakes, and just have the grit in you to keep pushing forward when things don't look so well. I think it says a lot about the person and their work ethic and their self-belief. And you get to live on a different side. There's a lot of lessons on that dark side of not winning that you learn and go through life that the person who's undefeated might never go through. So I've learned a lot of lessons about fighting, but about myself through all of this.
And looking at Dustin since his fight against Khabib, how do you think he's grown as a fighter, or do you think he's kind of the same, just more experienced?
Honestly, he's the same, Maybe become more old, and he doesn't believe he can beat me. His coach doesn't believe he can beat me. And I know I can make this fight easy.
Khabib said he's expecting a finish sometime in round 2 or 3. Is that what you're also expecting?
Yeah, I will finish him because I'm in the different level. I'm a best fighter in the world right now.
Islam was in here earlier, and he says he has the worst style matchup for you, right? And you can understand why he would think that. You fought Khabib, but that went how it went. How do you approach this fight differently to that fight and Islam's style in particular?
That fight was, years ago. If I'm not a better fighter than I was then, I wasted years of my life. But he's right. Over the last 18 years that I've been fighting, these are the toughest style matchups for me. Guys who are heavy wrestlers, top heavy, good top control. They're able to take the fight where they want it to be, and I'm the kind of fighter who does well in the fight. And if they can slow that down and make it more of a match or a competition, I need this to be a fight.
How many extra rounds of guillotine defense have you done in this training camp, if any?
I defended from guillotine today morning. We did some drills. Yes, I am not lying. I'm sure.
Islam, you said that you don't believe Dustin thinks he can beat you. So if that's the case, do you believe when he's in there he might almost try and quit earlier on, or do you think because it's his last chance at a title he might fight until the very bitter end?
Honestly, my style, it's a war style for him. That's why he can beat some striker. He like one of the best striker in this game. But we're not striker. We're MMA fighters, and my skills on different level.
For you, I'm sure there must be a temptation that you could try and fight him on the feet and prove that you can beat him in that world. But is it your job as the champion to just go in there and win as effectively as possible and do whatever it takes and whatever avenue you need to do that?
Yeah, I can striking with him, but I told you guys, if I want to make this fight easy, I know the way. And everybody don't know the way. Always when his opponent pressure him, take him down, he have same problem always.
You said about that's happened to you before in your career. Let's say he gets you down, right, and you feel that he's getting the back and stuff like that. How do you stay calm and think, I've been here before, but this time it's not at the finish, I'm getting out of it? How do you get that mentally through your head as you're in the fight?
Just stick to technique, be in the moment, recognize positions. And I mean, that's all training and years of work and technique and success and failures that I've had that hopefully put me in a position to get out of whatever's going on. We got to see when we get in there.
Yeah. And last one for me, he was in here and he did say that you don't think you can win this fight, nor does your coach. Your coach doesn't think you can win this fight. Why is he wrong?
Because I can definitely win this fight. You know, if I touch his chin, he'll go down. And he'll find that out on Saturday. You know, maybe that's something he doesn't need to believe. Maybe he needs to be positive and be confident walking into this, which he should be. But if you don't think I have a chance to win, you're lying to yourself.
He has said that if he loses this fight for the title, he won't try and climb back to the top again, and he may be done, in fact, with the sport after that. What would you describe Dustin Poirier's legacy if this was his last fight? How would you describe his legacy in MMA?
I hope he not retired after this fight, and I think he's one of the biggest name in this sport, you know. That's why I respect him. I respect him because he have a lot of crazy fights in this sport, you know, and just happy to beat someone who have big name like Dustin, you know, because for the legacy, it's gonna be maybe biggest name in my list.
Kind of going off that, I think it was one of Habib's, or Islam's, it was one of his training camp videos or whatever. And Habib said that, everyone underestimates Dustin. But then when we were asking fighters here, what do you think about this fight? They all just praise you. So I'm curious, do you actually feel underestimated, or is that Habib trying to keep Islam focused on hey, let's not overlook this guy. We know how dangerous he is.
I have no clue. But over the years, if anything I've learned in fighting is the media, my opponents, their camps, the critics, don't matter, bro. It's in my hands. I'm the only guy who has the opportunity to make this happen, or whatever decisions I make under those lights on Saturday. I'm the guy in the driver's seat. All these other guys talking are passengers or in the back seat, I steer where this goes. And knowing I have that power and believing in my skills, I don't care. It's all noise.
What is the significance to you of having to be back in your corner? What does he bring that you feel you need to have him there?
This is mean a lot. It's plus to striking 20%, to wrestling 20%, and to the plan. It's always great to have, I think everybody has said, Habib in the corner, because I think he gave me good advice in a lot of fights. I remember with Gleison Tibau, he told me, hey, try to land a left hook. I did, and I finished him with the hooker. He gave me very good advice when I finished him by armbar. With the title fight, he gave me a lot of good advice, and always good to have Habib in the corner.
Just taking the fight part out of it, all these fighters that we've been talking to, they all start with oh, I love Dustin Poirier. I'm a massive fan of Dustin Poirier. So even the younger guys. So I guess what is it about you that it doesn't seem like anyone really has anything negative to say about you when they're just watching you fight?
Because I've been fighting for so long. They grew up watching me fight. They were just getting into MMA when I was fighting on a big stage. I'm not sure, and also the style of fights that I have. Every time I go out there, it's a fight. It's kill or be killed. I know that's used a lot. People oversay it, but it's true. I'm gonna finish Islam, or he's gonna finish me. That's just the way I fight.
And I know everyone's going to compare Habib and Islam, but Islam was in here, and even his coach said, like, Islam, he thinks he has better boxing than you, wrestling, whatever. So I'm curious, when you do look at Islam's whole game, how would you rate his striking in there? Because, he said he's a high-level boxer, too.
And I believe him. But I would touch him up in a boxing match. And I don't know if he really believes that. Of course, anybody can land a shot and get beat. But I will box this guy. I will box his shoes off.
And just a quick follow. Obviously,
It's not just for me. Good news. Everybody was happy when Habib said I will be corner. Everybody understand he's gonna corner them too, and everybody was happy.
in general, is there a piece of fighting advice he's given you that has stuck with you, or that was
No, I don't remember one advice. Just the program, the discipline which he give us, which his father give him, and he just now he's a coach and he make everybody training hard, follow the same discipline, and be patient.
And Khabib, they only have one opponent that was common between the two of them, Gleison Tibau, and now you will become the second who's a common opponent between them. You fought one before, now you're fighting this other one. Are you kind of, how familiar do you feel like you are with their two styles, like analytically?
I have great grapplers at American Top Team, great wrestlers. Mateus Gamrot beat me up for the past 6 weeks. But their style is different. The way they ride, the way they use their weight in different positions, it's just a different style. But I think I have a better understanding of it since fighting Khabib. I've never felt that kind of pressure before. And I think Islam's, obviously his takedowns are a little different, but his top pressure and in the grappling scenario is going to be similar.
They're different people, obviously, and they have different strengths and weaknesses as well, and you've only been in the cage with one of them, but how much does kind of having that time against that style, that you're kind of speaking as one style here, how much do you think that gives you a little bit of an advantage over, like, let's say a previous fight that you've had against someone you've never really fought that style?
It might be an advantage, but it's just more of an understanding. You don't realize it. Even though I've been grappling and wrestling and fighting my whole life, till you get in there and feel it. Somebody can explain it to you or show it to you, but until it's live competition and you feel that pressure and you feel their intelligence of weight distribution and where they need to be at and where you need to be at, is something you have to experience.